All right, looks like we're finally getting ready to hop into the game. Show me those picks. Do the speed draft already.
Now, if I'm gonna give everyone the full screen speed draft here, like you're talking about.
Hmm.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
All right, we're looking good. Everybody's picked. Got Sammy Boy on the Gyrocopter, Roy on the Storm Spirit, Flea on the Keeper of the Light, Brax on the Alchemist, IX Monk on the Abaddon. And Petapu Winter Wyvern, Oscar Sand King, Dark Mago Tiny, Matthew on the Lion, and Angel on the Terrorblade here. Again, I think going to late game is not going to go so well for NoPing. I imagine they're going to want to close this one out pretty fast. They're going to be able to if they pass off Aghanim Scepters onto Sammy Boy, being able to bring him online even faster. But once again, a lot's going to come onto IX Mike, like enabling Roya and Sammy Boy to continue to move in the team fights when the instant disables from the Sand King and the Lion come out onto him. Let's go.
Think we're finally in.
Prepare for
Indeed, we are. And they're going to make a mad dash for the mid lane here. Plant this ward here on Roya. And potentially get some D wards off with IX Mike.
Yeah, starting the game with 2 sentries there. Dark Mago also. Who's gonna make the run to the mid lane ward first? That's always the thing. Dark Mago's gonna try and reveal the ward, but might get punished for this. Yeah, I mean, just standard stuff here. Mid lane shenanigans. It's always a good time. Ooh, yeah. Reflection level 1. Typically, you pick that ability up when you want to fight in the lane, correct?
Yeah. In certain lane matchups, it's better than others. Like against Venomancer, it feels pretty good. Against Abaddon, it's going to be all right. But yeah, not amazing here until the Abaddon ends up getting his Curse of Avernus.
Ooh, there might be a little bit of trouble here in the bottom. Nice 2-man stun and a burrow strike. End up overlapping it slightly, but Ryoya just wants to secure this rune bottom. I don't think it's going to happen. There's too many heroes there. Flea also taking a lot of damage here on this Keeper of the Light.
Apparently we're getting my camera in-game.
What is it?
Apparently we're getting my camera in-game.
I don't know. As opposed to my camera?
I don't know.
Lucky. Get
interesting.
What can you do?
What can you do now? Oh, and quick little pause. Sure, it's fine. No one abandoned, so that's good news.
May the light keep you. May the light keep you.
All right, I have an update from the admin. Apparently, Alone is now on the official Infamous roster, and KXI was dropped.
Oh, well, look at that. Neato.
Mm-hmm. What can you do?
I don't know. I feel like Alone played pretty well in the games that we saw from him, which was really nice. But KXY probably just has... I mean, he's been playing with the team for a little while now, so has a little bit better synergy. Nev, walk us through the lanes here. What are we going to see? This mid lane matchup.
Mid lane is going to be, I think, fairly Storm Spirit favor for the first couple levels. Oh no. That's not... Alright, I'll have to take a look at that one later. Anyways, it's going to be pretty Storm Spirit favor the first couple of levels. Once you have like a couple levels in the Avalanche and the Toss, all of a sudden you have to be careful in the Storm Spirit so you don't get blown up by the Tiny. You're always going to be playing pretty close to lane. You don't have much movement speed, so Dark Mago's going to be able to just walk up to him and toss Avalanche combo you down to like no HP. If you're not setting it full, you threaten to be just blown up.
You got to get raindrops essentially on the Storm Spirit here, of course, right? Otherwise, you know, that's what makes Tiny such a deadly hero. CS-wise, Terrorblade doing really well in the top lane. Angel up to 8, 9 now. Brax ended up going the Grievel's Greed at level 2. That is surprising, actually. Okay. I did not expect this. Is that in? It is not. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't realize Ryoya was a master tier Storm Spirit. Level 28. Pog. bottom lane. Matthew just getting pushed out by IX Mike on the Abaddon. His salve almost gets canceled there, and does finally now. But he's just trying to deny the pull, or rather the D ward at this point, as he has now found it. But as a result, IX Mike's going to continue the chase here onto Matthew. Just needs one more miscoil if he can get in range, but a little bit too faster with those boots. Will be able to make it away. Gets the D ward in the process, and Matthew will's denied to the tower. Ends up giving first blood to Mike. The question is, does he get the gold for that, neph?
He does.
He does, right? The tower got the kill, but...
Yeah, so you can see Boots heading out to Mike right now as well. Get a lot of gold for that one. I think he's going to send out a couple more items. But yeah, Boots, Sentry, Clarity, Mango sitting on the courier, flying out to Mike now. He doesn't get the XP, so I'm not sure if it would have been just worth it to sit there and die to Mike. You're only sitting at level 1 at the moment. Instead of like walking all the way over to the tower. At the very least, it forces another 50 mana out of him.
Yeah, there's one more miscoil type of thing.
Yep.
Overall, though, lanes do look pretty good so far. Fairly even. I would say the Alchemist is the one that's kind of struggling the most right now. And speaking of which, top lane just getting pelted by Angel, and Pandabu pops the Fairy Fire. Going to go down here to the Terrorblade. Just getting a little bit too far out there, and the Arctic Burn combination with that Reflection and meta was just too much for him to deal with.
So... you just don't have the armor on Alchemist. I mean, even though that he bought this Ring of Protection, he still ends up dropping. You don't have much movement speed to work with either. I mean, that update that happened ages ago with the Terrorblade gets to keep full movement speed with Metamorphosis. Yeah, is it paying off?
This, I think, is the fault of the Grievel's Greed build. I think if he just has Unstable Concoction, they easily kill the Terrorblade there. But with this Greed build, you can't really contest the lane, which I think you kind of needed to do against this Terrorblade. So I'm a little bit confused on how they're playing this.
It is weird, but maybe he's just looking to have as many points into Greeble's Greed and Acid Spray as he can. But it does defeat the purpose of having the Keeper of the Light with the Chakra Magic here, I feel. Like that's what you said, like a huge amount of the power from this lane comes from the ability to just spam out the Unstable Concoction. Yes, even though he's got high physical damage armor, and it's a physical damage based spell, it still does a lot when you're spamming it up with the cooldown reduction on Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, you have the cooldown reduction, you've got the Acid Spray, and Keeper of the Light just gets a, you know, full channeled Illuminate just to make sure. He's actually going to be able to pick up the double stack here. He does. Well done by Flea. But that's going to get scouted by Pandabu. He knows what's up. Well, he does get a courier on the way, and as a result, he's not going to be able to plant the ward that he wanted. Flea will spend a little bit of money on sentries, though, trying to find that ward that he thought he planted there.
Yeah, he's going to be able to find it pretty quickly. Flea is a professional after all. Look at that.
That was so close. He almost didn't get that. Meanwhile,
Man
top
knew
lane,
exactly where that ward
leaving
was.
Brax alone this whole time, and that's going to be another kill going the way of the Terrorblade. Well, yep, there he is.
I let you down.
Extra movement between the Terrorblade allows him to run him down. Brax not having a great game so far.
Where did he die? All right, they just chased him down. He doesn't have any points in the Rocket Barrage. He is going the stats build. Oh my lord. These stacks, neph. Oh my gosh, Flea. That is... Those are some big creep camps, brother. The problem we've seen with this in the past is the other team just invades and takes the stacks. And with a level 4 Alch, that is absolutely a possibility. You need to be careful. Alchemist does need like 3 points in the Acid Spray to be able to clear out this hard stack. Ryoya is going to end up just taking it instead, though.
Yeah.
So I guess they'll save Ancients for the Gyro.
All right. So either Gyro or Alchemist, either of them could take it, honestly. Gyro is going to kind of struggle with it. They might do it together, to be honest with you. I mean, you're amplifying the flat cannon damage with the Acid Spray. Sam, he's taking a lot of damage down here, but he's just going to disengage with his call down. Dark Mego is probably getting ready to come online. He's getting close to this Blink Dagger. He's sitting about 500 gold away from it at the moment. Once he's got that online, all of a sudden you need to be careful on several of these heroes.
Wow, that is a very fast blink.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting up a stack right now as well. Should be fairly easy for him to finish that off. I'm surprised he's just going brown boots into the Blink Dagger. I did not really expect him to do that.
And it's good. It'll get you on top of the Storm Spirit, allow you to blow him up, or it'll allow you to toss him back into the Lion. You can have some follow-up play there. I mean, you need initiation right now in order to slow down this game. If you can make it past the early game with like Dark Mago's play, then the late game is essentially secured with the Terrorblade into the Gyrocopter matchup. That just feels miserable.
Roya looking to find Angel here. He does indeed Vortex into the Luminate and a level 4 Remnant. Oh my goodness, that is so much Magic Burst. And now Pandaboo on the bottom side here. They can't really chase for more as they do see Matthew here on the other side of these tree lines. So they're just going to back off, settle for that Terrorblade kill. Ryoya finishing up these jungle creeps. And they even find a Fairy's Trinket on Gyro. So the best possible item, I think, for the Storm.
Yeah. All right, it's going to go back to finish off that big creep. But yeah, farming up the enemy team's jungle, leaving yours open for the Gyrocopter to farm. This is just using the map as effectively as possible. Already with 3k net worth advantage here on TeamTeam at only 8 minutes in. Maybe I said that people were naysayers for TeamTeam and I didn't like that, but maybe I was too much of a naysayer for North America. NoPing seems to be getting the business right now. Dark Mego is going to need to turn things around with his Blink Dagger reveal.
Oh.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there it isn't.
Is there it is? There it isn't, sir.
There it isn't.
You blame the ping on that one. They saw that coming from a mile away, that ward sentry on the backside of that tree line, seeing that tiny, they just back it up. And now that they know that hero is there, or rather that the Tiny's Blink is online, they can just play a lot safer behind these trees. They even get the D ward behind the tower as a result of that Blink. So well played there by TeamTeam. Just good placement of these wards. I mean, it's dominating NoPing on the map as they also find a pick on Pandaboo top lane as well.
Yep. I mean, the moment that the Tiny showed at the bottom lane, they knew that it was safe for the Storm Spirit to commit on to that Winter Wyvern. In fact, he might even want to try to do it again. Underneath the tower might be a little bit too dangerous, but he's thinking about it.
4-point acid spray, by the way. Look at Alchemist. He's finally cleaning up this giant ancient stack. Like I said, you need the 4 points to kill it. And he has that now, so should be able to clean this up. And this is going to be a very fast Aghanim Scepter for the Gyrocopter. Top lane, Avatos comes out. He gets baited. Ryoya diving for Pandapoo. Just getting
didn't quite have enough damage to finish him off. I think one more auto attack was going to do the trick, and he ended up clicking the tower instead of Pandaboo for the last one as an accident, I think. What can you do? But he would have died afterwards, regardless of Dark Mego, but it kind of sucks that he didn't end up getting the kill there. And now Dark Mego gets himself an Arcane Rune, so getting that kill into Storm Spirit is a pretty big deal, as he was starting to pull ahead of you. Now it'll even things back up a little bit.
I've just looked at Brax. He is 1,500 gold from an Ag's neph.
That's just stonks, baby. You leave him alone, all of a sudden he controls half the world.
He is 1,500 from an Ags. I mean, you're going to get like the dream timing of like 13-minute Ags on the Gyro with a Dragon Lance.
Yep. No, Sammy Boy, he's a real self-starter. All he needs is a small loan of 4,200 gold from his Brax to come online.
They are smoked up here on NoPing, trying to invade the enemy jungle. They do see Storm Spirit protected for the moment, but Finger of Death there, well played. He actually is going to find the stack as well, which is quite funny.
There is little hope.
Well played here on NoPing, trying to invade and apply pressure over to TeamTeam, stealing a little bit of that economy away. Brax does get the top tower as a result of this rotation, though.
Yep. Which again will bring him close to that Aghanim Scepter that you're talking about. 800 gold away now, but Dark Mego finds himself a little bit more farm, and he's neck and neck with the Storm Spirit after that kill and after sealing those stacks.
Matthew gonna go ahead and sentry block up those Ancients as well. Bottom lane. Where are we at on Flea's farm? Because I feel, yeah, he has a 4-staff. He has almost 1,000 more gold than the off lane Sand King at this point because of all of those stacks that he has gotten that extra gold from.
It's just stack tax, baby. in the mid lane. Looks like Roya is posturing a little bit aggressively. He does have to be careful.
Avalanche toss on the backside. He's looking for Flea. Gets the Force Staff out. A nice Winter's Curse there, though. Flea is protected for the time being. Thanks to Aphotic Shield. The question is, do they want to chase for more? Ryoya has a regen. He'll just back off. Dark Mago doing a lot of work so far early on into the game. He does have the level 11. That is like the dream timing, right? On Tiny getting the 4 points in both Avalanche and Toss.
Yeah, but it's like we talked about, the raindrops, the extra HP from the Force Staff, and IX Mike sitting there throwing out the Aphotic Shield, and the Mistcoil just barely allowed him to survive, and you lose Matthew. Wait, never mind.
Do you?
There it is.
You don't? Ryoya almost going a little bit too far there, but he's going to be fine. Dark Mago. Toss out, looking for Mike. They need to back off. I don't think that they really want to fight the side of NoPing right now, right? Dark Mago is incredibly strong. Well, I say that Ryoya zipping onto the backside, going in way too deep, and they've got to break the blink here on Dark Mago. He's going to get him. Avalanche toss Ryoya almost out of mana. Going to be saved here by Flea. No, a Bro Strike comes in, Force Staff, and a Aphotic Shield. The saving grace. Otherwise, Ryoya would have had a really big death there. Toss back. They're looking for Sammy. There's an Ags about to be delivered, though. Can he keep him into the game? Brax channeling the concoction. He can cast the Ags to heal off Sammy, but has opted not to quite yet.
Yep. This entire time, IX Mike has been holding a point in borrowed time, just not committing that extra thing there. He's been waiting for someone to actually commit onto him and try to blow him up before he puts the point into it. I really like what he's doing here. He was a little bit far away from Sammy. He kind of messed up using the Aphotic Shield or canceling the Blink Dagger on the Tiny when he jumped up to the high ground earlier. So he's been making a couple mistakes, but he's always gotten his Aphotic Shield off. Things haven't gone horribly wrong after any of the mistakes so far. So can you really call them that big of mistakes?
Yeah, probably not. Arcane Rune, though, just bottled up here on the Tiny. So he's super happy about that. And Lion has been busy stacking the jungle as Terrorblade has his Manta Style completed on his way to his Eye of Scotty. And Angel is really farmed. Just, I think a lot of this comes down, in my opinion, just the early decisions in that lane, right? They needed to slow down the Terrorblade, but TeamTeam just definitely were not able to do so. And as a result, I mean, Terrorblade's got almost 9,000 net worth now. He's really not that far behind Gyro, who just got an Axe.
Is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty scary. Speaking of IX Mike, he's going to walk away from this one, but Brax wants to chase.
Nice beautiful force stun onto the Lion with the follow-up there from Ryoya. That's going to be a quick snipe there onto the Lion. The question is, can you go for more? The concoction refreshed, nice toss away, burning through the mana there on the Storm Spirit, but they need to be careful. Oscar, do you see him on the low ground, and it will allow them to continue chasing here onto TeamTeam. Nice Winter's Curse call down is there. Ryoya, he's going to get bursted. Great play once again.
Yeah, 3 targets on top of you. There's not much you can do. Nice turnaround there by Pandaboo.
You need to be careful here. Sammy does do a lot of damage. Mike can't heal him up, though. He's falling low. He gets the kill anyway. 1-for-1 trade, though, as Matthew finishes him off with a finger of death, and now a Force Staff save will keep Mike out of here. Oscar channeling his ult, wants to go in, gets a huge Burrow Strike as he follows up the Tiny. 4 heroes go down on TeamTeam.
I mean, just diving way too hard. I mean, you look at the opportunity, you think, okay, we get the Terrorblade. Okay, well, we want to get the Winter Wyvern. We want to get the Tiny Dark Mega. If we can shut him down right now, it's going to be super easy to just continue to snowball off this lead. Maybe grab the mid tower after that. But they got too greedy there. Winter Wyvern is so good at resetting fights and turning things around, and they positioned themselves perfectly for Pandaboo to take advantage of that.
I'd also like to point out that Brax is 9th on net worth, so I don't know what this guy has been doing, but he needs to carry his own weight.
He's paying for Gyro's medical bills, man. Come on. But that's like you said, Angel is actually probably going to pass the Gyrocopter's net worth at the rate that he's going at, considering he got 4,200 influx of gold there. He's doing pretty well for himself. I have Scotty isn't that far off.
Once you have Scotty Terrorblade, you're in a really rough spot on the side of TeamTeam because you cannot outrun him, especially with the Wyvern there. The Force Staff on Coddle has made a lot of really good plays so far this game, but he's still pretty far off of his Aghanim Scepter. And once you have that, they're in a pretty good spot, and the team fights become a lot easier because Angel will need a BKB to be able to contest. He is sitting under a ward, though.
Dire's top
Looks like
tower is under attack.
team wants to try and find him, maybe. Ryoya doesn't want to make a dive.
Tower is in danger.
What? Brack can't afford to buy Coddle and Aghanim Scepter as well? What's with that?
None on this.
He needs to get, like, a Solar Crest, I think, at this point. Right?
Kinda
Like, there's...
stingy, bro.
I think he needs a Solar Crest. Oh, Sammy gets a D-Ward. Look at that.
Yep. And Angel gets himself a Grove Bow. I'm curious if they pass it over to the Winter Wyvern, or what happens with it. You might hold it on the Terrorblade. The extra attack range does feel good. Attack speed's good too.
Structures are fortified.
Dark Mago does have that Echo Saber completed, which gives him just that much more burst damage. Is level 13, so level 2 grow.
Dire should look to their top.
Looks like they want to set up here on the mid tower, but with a Baton sitting beside it, that's the last hero you really want to commit on to. Just being
Yeah.
able to buy the extra time beside the tier 1 tower with his borrowed time.
It's one of the benefits of running this hero, right, in the 5 is that you can show in lane like that and not worry too much. Dark Mago with a haste rune, but as a result, just gonna walk away here as he just pops the smoke here on the side of TeamTeam.
Its bottom tower
They're gonna look for the mid lane tower as a result. Sammy does do a lot of damage here with his Aghanim Scepter, does have a Sange completed as well, just trying to tank up as much as possible.
Radiant's bottom tower
But
is
like you said, Angel's about to catch him. The Terrorblade almost has the same net worth as the Gyrocopter.
2,000 behind still, but he's been closing that lead right now. It was 2,500 a minute or two ago. At this point, he almost has this Eye of Skadi. You're really going to struggle to blow him up once he has that. I mean, prior to that, Storm Spirit does have the kind of magical damage that he can pump out to blow up this Terrorblade, but pretty soon here they won't have the disable to keep him locked down to blow up like 2,500, 2,600 HP. He's going to have from Eye of Skadi.
Both teams seem to just kind of be content farming right now. The thing is, though, is you are going into this late game Terrorblade. The Storm Spirit's gonna have to do some heavy lifting to catch off these backline heroes. You've already seen so far what the Wyvern can do. Like, he's forced 2 deaths now out of Ryoya. He did finish the Orchid, which is a big one. Mid lane, IX Mike gets collapsed on. Does pop that borrowed time, but with that help of the team there and a Finger of Death from Matthew, he's gonna get his 3rd stack of the game. Now that mid lane tower is definitely gonna fall. I don't know how you defend this, do you?
You got Keeper of the Light, baby. You can defend.
I guess you have Coddle and level 4 Acid Spray. That is a problem.
Yeah, but Dark Mago's got himself a double damage. He didn't even have to commit it. Just hit it with the Echo Saber. He's going to get to walk away from this one, I imagine. No one's going to chase after him right now, not with a bad and dead. He's a big part of these team fights. Being able to reset after getting hit by a stun by the Lion of the Sand King is super important.
Sammy
Always
does
just get blown
cleave
up.
the mid tower in the time. Bottom lane Angel, though, has just been slowly whittling down this tower. Just about 2 minutes ago was full HP, but with the illusions, he's managed to pretty much clear it out completely.
I'm looking for Roya right now, and like that's a blink on Lion. Yeah, I don't think he lives from that one.
Yeah,
Blowing up
yikes.
here on Roya, unfortunately. And continues farming here on the Terrorblade. I mean, Gyrocopter, again, net worth gap is getting closed slowly but surely. And I think at this point, the Terrorblade does just... I mean, once he's got the Skadi online, I feel like Terrorblade beats you in any sort of fight. So already you're starting to miss your timing here. They had a 3k net worth advantage here at like 5 minutes into their, like 6-7 minutes into the game, and now...
It's just been slowly decreasing back towards NoPing. And IX Mike, he had borrowed time last time, but not the second time. He will know that there's a ward there. Does finish up his 4th stack, but it's just the aggression from Dark Mago on this Tiny. He just hasn't slowed down.
Even when he made some mistakes earlier on, I mean, he just continued to put the pressure on. 3-0 and 6 at the moment. I mean, he's behind Roya right now on net worth by a little bit, but his impact in this game is absolutely insane. I mean, this is what is going to take them into the late game, right? We talked about that during the draft. It's this guy being able to always threaten heroes and burst them down with the Toss Avalanche combo.
Yeah, there's a reason Dark Mago plays this Tiny so often. Like, he just absolutely crushes on this hero. Does get the silence out onto Tiny, but they just return with a Hex immediately from the Lion, and Storm Spirit isn't gonna be able to catch anything. Just gonna TP top and go back to farming. The thing is, Ryoya has spent so much of his time just in this top lane farming, and that's why he has the net worth he has, but his contribution to the game has been so minimal.
I mean, he was doing great earlier, but that's the thing. You're playing against these instant disables. When you're playing against Sand King and Lion on the Storm Spirit, there's so little that you're able to do. You can't like outplay them anymore. They initiate from like 2,000 range out of fog and have no cast point and no travel time on their stuns. You just have to kind of hope that IX Mike is in a position to dispel it, and if he isn't, you die. He's got his Blink Dagger almost complete, but he might die one more time.
He gets found, yeah, once again, another finger. I mean, you just can't keep doing this.
He's got his BKB now, but
I mean, so does Angel though. Like, his BKB is nearly complete, and now with the Storm Spirit being dead, it's go time here for NoPing as they chase for furthermore. Sammy a little bit off the mark there with the stun, but the Gyrocopter putting out so much damage. The question is, can they take down Angel? They have no choice. He's got a Sunder. He can throw it onto the IX Mike, and he does. He just goes right back to full HP. Gyrocopter goes down. Borrowed time pop. Dark Mega looking for on the backside. Tosses out the Keeper of the Light. Flea in trouble. Force Staff in one. Can he make it away? He will not. Dark Mago just setting up kill after kill. Another Burrow Strike. It's gonna be 4. Make it 5 potentially as Mike tried to hobble away. It's a bloody disaster.
they just don't have the damage to bring down this Terrorblade anymore. If you can't burst him, there's no way you're taking him out, and he does so much by himself now. I mean, he's got all the items he needs, and just completes an Eagle Song, picks up a Talisman of Evasion, almost has a Butterfly. There is no chance that you're able to get an MKB here on the Gyrocopter or enough magic damage to burst down this Terrorblade. This is the beginning of the end right now for TeamTeam, I feel.
Yeah, like I said, I think this game came down to how well they played top lane and then pressuring the map, and they have done neither of those things. Ryoya has a BKB. It's not going to help him at all. I think he's still going to die in about 30 seconds here in the bottom lane. Okay, he TP's home finally. But the thing is the Storm Spirit is the hero that's supposed to be trying to find these backline heroes and fight, and instead you just haven't fought once the whole game. It is 6-16. You are at a 5k deficit against a Terrorblade. I don't see how you can come back into this game as TeamTeam.
They're going to try to get this Sand King here, but they're getting baited. The Lion, the Winter Wyvern is sitting behind Oscar. I feel like everything went wrong the moment you dove a little bit too far for this Tiny. You had things turned around on you by the Winter Wyvern. That was such a clutch Winter's Curse by Panda Boo.
I think there was like multiple times this game where like...
this is not going to go well.
That's an Invis rune on Tiny. They do see him, and Mike's going to run out of the pit trying to find these heroes. But with Oscar up on the high ground, he has the Epicenter. He has everything available. Aegis does get picked up on the gyro as Mike tries to run away. But on the high ground, Ryoya finally finds the Wyvern, but just gets instantly hexed and Yules. His BKB comes out too late.
We managed to get the Winter Wyvern. They get the Aegis. I'd call that a win. I thought NoPing would just rush into the pit there and absolutely ruin their day here on NoPing. But with no Metamorphosis available, I guess that's why they hesitated. It was still on cooldown for another 5 seconds after that team fight.
Oh, so Angel decided to skip the BKB and bought out a Butterfly first. So,
yep,
quite strong.
Yeah, now he's going back for the BKB. But again, if they didn't have the damage to bring him down while he was disabled last time, this is going to increase his HP even more. It's Gyrocopter and Storm Spirit hitting him with the auto attacks, right? They don't actually have a ton of magical burst. Not enough to do 2600 HP of damage, so he's going to be just fine with his Butterfly.
Gyro did finish up a Satanic, though, which is a big item. He is going to go back to complete the Sanj and Yasha.
Illusion.
Flee on his way to an Ags, but that Ags is coming out so late.
You're not healing a ton of HP against a Terrorblade with a Butterfly, though. He's got so much armor. He's got an Eye of Skadi as well, and then part of your attacks you're just missing. So
yeah.
This Satanic isn't going to do as much as you think it is.
It's a lot less value. It's good if he gets jumped by like the Tiny or the Sand King, right? But it's a lot less useful against the Terrorblade.
Is now active.
Top lane tier 2 tower will give them access to the outpost, so they will finally have that. But Terrorblade's busy cutting 2 waves simultaneously, as well as pressuring your tier 3 bottom with a catapult. So that tower is going to take a decent chunk of damage. Top lane though, Sammy begins the work on the enemy tier 3. They're gonna go ahead and start TPing these heroes back. Matthew with a nice stun. Mike will be here to keep him in this as much as possible. But they've got to find a way to get on top of the gyro here, right?
I mean, it's not hard to get on top of this gyro. The issue is getting IX Mike, who's sitting behind them. They need Sand King or Tiny to initiate onto the back line while people hex up the gyrocopter. But they opt to get back here on TeamTeam. They know that this isn't an easy fight to take, and they don't want to waste their Aegis. Well, things are going to slow down, but people are going to pick up tier 3 neutral items now. Quickening Charm was just found. We got Cloak of Flames too. I'm not sure how useful the Cloak of Flames is going to be in a game like this one, though.
I mean, you can still put it on the Alk or something, but yeah, or IX Mike even. It's just, yeah, kind of an unfortunate item. Oh my god, Angel just absolutely destroying IX Mike here. A little bit of help from the Tiny as he just tosses him back to his death.
Yeah. That's going to be it for him, and now they feel like they can move around the jungle pretty freely. The Lion is starting to posture pretty aggressively. If they can catch out Sammy Boy here, it's, again, no dispel for his Hex, no dispel for his stun, Burrow Strike, to be able to blow him up. You don't really care too much about the Aegis at this point if the Abaddon's dead.
4K gold lead still, 7-17. Not much has changed as far as kill. They do find the Wyvern under a ward there, so they will grab that kill. And it is a big one. You do have the Abaddon coming up in just a moment. You might be able to force the buyback there on the Wyvern. The question is, can you get anyone else? Angel has BKB available. They hex up the Gyro. He's got the Satanic. He's got an Aegis. They've got to keep him alive. He pops the Satanic, but he's dead. Gyro's stuck here without help, and you've got a Winter Wyvern coming in. Raya on the backside with BKB from Angel comes out, and Sammy is just stuck here. Gonna get tossed up onto the high ground. Sammy just dead. You get Oscar, and you get the buyback, but that's the power of a BKB.
I mean, you just can't pump the damage back in the Terrorblade. He pops the BKB. He's got the Butterfly and the Eye of Scotty. You can't fight him anymore on Sammy Boy. There's just absolutely no way. Everybody's forced to get back now. I'm not sure where they go from here. It does feel impossible to come back into this one. I mean, Panda Boo bought back. The net worth lead isn't increasing, but they shouldn't have a net worth lead anyway when you've got an Alchemist on your team, when you have the kind of farm lead that you started with. I guess just going to farm up the map for the moment until they have Sand King back in the game, and then I imagine they're going to start pushing high ground. Terrorblade, he doesn't even have to wait for the Satanic that he's working on right now.
Yeah, we saw in the last game how good the Will-O-Wisp, or in the last game, in the last fight, how like effective the Will-O-Wisp was. It did definitely slow down the team fight quite a bit for NoPing, but as soon as Terrorblade pops that BKB, it becomes very difficult.
Masterful mark.
Raya? I don't even know what you work on at this point on Storm Spirit. I mean, Hex might be helpful, but maybe an Aghanim Scepter? It's hard to say. He doesn't have anything queued up at the moment.
Going for a Linken's on Brax, which he's getting close. I mean, he might need a... I meant Lotus Orb. I was thinking that Raya might need a Linken's here. You see Panda Boo underneath the ward here as well. They get him. Should be a nice pickoff once again, and that one is a dieback, so targeting, however, here on TeamTeam, working out in their favor.
They'll be able to take the tier 2 tower. I don't think they'll be able to push high ground off of this one, though. Metamorphosis is still on cooldown for another 17 seconds. I think NoPing is just completely basing whether or not they can take a fight around that spell's cooldown. That's why they hesitated to go into the Roche Pit last time. They just want to fight when they're at absolutely full strength, and unfortunately, the Winter Wyvern ends up going down for it, just posturing kind of aggressively, trying to get out the enemies and slow them down on the map.
Oh, Alk's Courier goes down, meaning no Lotus Orb for a couple minutes. And I think he was just 150 gold off the item. Unlucky. I mean, you have a 2K gold lead here on NoPing. Pretty much all of this net worth is on the Terrorblade. He is their late game safety card. He does have a Satanic picked up as well. Link Pro strike in the mid lane. IX Mike gets tossed back, even though he pops that borrowed time, but it's not going to be enough. In comes the gyro. He just gets thrown into the air. Will-O-Wisp goes down, and it's immediately purged there thanks to that Terrorblade's damage. And now Sammy trying to hobble away, but he doesn't have the damage for this. He doesn't have a BKB. He can't get out. 2 heroes die in the mid lane. Buybacks available for both, but that is an absolute disaster.
There's nothing he's able to do. That 50% slow, bigger ranged hero that I have Scotty, and he can't go for a BKB or anything like that to help himself get out of these fights or survive because he's not going to be able to do damage to the Terrorblade. Instead, he's opting, okay, if we can somehow get on top of him and blow him up, I need to build this MKB right now. But even that feels a little bit hopeful. Now they're just going to walk up high ground with this Metamorphosis. The Fortify is going to buy them a little bit of time, but I think that they'll just take the tier 3 tower in the racks here. Well, you do a buyback now on Sammy Boy. If you use it here, I think you just lose the game.
Ooh, Burrow Strike deep under the base here. Sentry gets dropped. Oscar, though, does have a Lotus Orb. Gonna toss the Alk way into the Terrorblade, and a couple auto attacks there might be enough to finish him off. Woo. Almost taken down there by the Tree Willows. Comes out trying to stall this as they don't want to have to use the buyback on this Gyrocopter, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Just trying to caught the wave, but they get the barracks.
Yeah, better to sack the racks and buy back on the Gyrocopter, not be able to afford the MKB. That's one of the few ways that you get back in this game, is you get that and have enough damage to maybe bring down the Terrorblade. But even then, it's a tall order. Roshan is back up, and after taking the tier 2 in the mid lane, they're probably going to go scout that one out here on NoPing.
Angel also managed to find Spider Legs, which is one of the best items on the Terrorblade. This item feels so good. So
Yeah,
you can just get rid of those boots here once he picks up the Daedalus.
Yeah, and a hero that farms really fast. Like Battle Fury heroes especially, the Spider Legs feel so good, but yeah, as soon as he's ready to switch out his... He's already in the Chrysalis, so we'll imagine he'll just get rid of his power treads pretty quickly. Like you said, it feels good, man.
Dark Mega gonna find an Invis rune there. Very nice.
I mean, this just sucks for Sammy Boy. He can't afford to go out of his way for a BKB in this game, or otherwise he won't have the damage to blow up the Terrorblade.
Absolutely. Lotus Orb completed on the Alk. It's available on both teams now. It is a really good Lotus game, but the issue you have is just the tossbacks from Tiny. These instant repositionings of your heroes are just doing so much work. He's gonna go into the Roche Pit. Do they actually see the Terrorblade? They do. Call down comes through. Angel just gonna spider leg over the wall, and a lot of damage coming in, but there it is, the tossback. Gyrocopter is completely away from his team and just gets absolutely blown apart. Now Dark Mago just here with the BKB, zoning him out a big slap as he takes down IX Mike. Terrorblade is in the Roche Pit. The buyback there from Gyro Neph. You talked about how he can't afford to lose that. Somehow, Rioya goes down there. Buyback 3. Angel's meta still online.
It's about half the duration left at this point. I'm not sure I will win a fight
found,
here.
he's got no borrowed time. He just goes down, and now Sammy trying to stand his ground against the Terrorblade, but he doesn't stand a chance. Backside, they find Lion. Rioya pops the BKB, able to find the kill. Now looking for Panda Boo, but you've diebacked now on the Gyro. And Rioya maybe can kill the Wyvern, but it's not even going to be enough. It is all she wrote here for TeamTeam as they die back on every single hero. The GGs come out, and NoPing will take game number 1.
I mean, even if they win that fight, they couldn't afford to go down and have to buy back there. Once you bought back into that team fight, it just wasn't worth it anymore. But they knew exactly what they were up to. TeamTeam had full information of where the positioning was on the NoPing heroes of that one, but so did NoPing. I mean, Dark Mega, he tossed the Gyrocopter away from his entire team, and that was the only thing they're going to save him. The Blinding Light, the Will-O-Wisp, the shield from Abaddon dispelling some of these disables. Once he's separated, there's just no way for him to survive. He didn't even bother popping a Satanic. You know, I just need to get out of here and try to get towards my Abaddon, but ends up dropping before anything happens. So NoPing, despite the slow start to that one, they managed to make it to the late game, I think a lot through the efforts of Dark Mago.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Like the Dark Mago's Tiny did so well this game, always finding key pickoffs. He finishes 6-0 and 16. And, you know, Angel, just an incredible performance on the Terrorblade too, finding net worth like in an unbelievable percentage, like almost 900 GPM here on this hero. This was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Man played, yeah, man played insane. I mean, 900 GPM is not easy. It looks like Alchemist numbers. Unfortunately, Brax, after getting that initial Aghanim Scepter over to Sammy Boy, nobody really came online. Net worth gap was closed pretty quickly by Angel with how fast he was farming, and everyone on the team was able to get them into that late game. Panda Boo, I think, did a game-saving Winter's Curse when they were chasing Dark Mago through the jungle. Dark Mago didn't die a single time that day, game, and I think that was largely due to the positioning of these supports.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really well played game from NoPing all around. We've got game 2 coming up in just a moment, everyone. So stay tuned for more action here on the Loop Bet Pro Series 7. We'll see you in a bit.